There's 100 videos out there that give you must-haves for RVers, but today I'm going to give you the true must-have for RVers.
Y'all, this is Mike. He's setting up our system that we're buying to upgrade our tire pressure monitoring system.
The TST tire pressure monitoring system, the 6-sensor flow-through kit is going to go on your motorhome, and that's going to allow you to add or remove air right through the sensor. You also have used replaceable batteries. And then on your tow car, you're going to go with our 507 RV cap sensors. Again, use a replaceable battery, lightweight, they can be run on rubber or metal valve stems. Obviously, it's coming with a full color widescreen display.
Nice.
Repeaters included. We're giving you a 3-year warranty. Any questions you have, you can get a hold of me anytime.
3-year warranty, that's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Safety first.
Safety first.
It's a big one. Get your tire pressure monitoring system, everybody.
So after doing the research and talking to a few friends who actually have new TST tire pressure monitoring systems, the 507 series is the one I wanted to go with. So at this year's 2022 Tampa Super Show, I went over to the TST, that's Truck System Technologies booth, and Mike over there sold us on the tire pressure monitoring system. He sold us the one with the 507 series with the flow-through sensors, which is what I wanted, and we got the cap sensors for the Jeep, which you need too. And all that time, Mike actually set our TMS up. He actually did it in a few minutes, and it's really simple to use. This also has a repeater with it, which is very important. So I'm going to put this back in my battery bay, and it will actually push the signal to the monitor and help amplify the signal. So in this, right out of the gate, you have the flow-through sensors. You have 6 of them, and then of course you have the display. Also with it, as the carrier, set this on your dash, or it also has a mount, so if you want to mount it on the window or something like that. And it has your tools that you'll need to change batteries and things and tighten up. It does have a locking mechanism for your sensors, so you can lock them on there so people can't just take them off. That's what these are for. Again, your repeater and your charging. And if you're setting up and you had it on your dash, that's the way it would be mounted right there. And one thing I wanted, and Mike hooked us up, was a sunshade, because I saw this on some other people. And so, pretty simple little sunshade, fits right across here like so. And it helps it depending on what kind of sun you have right there. So
Helps the glare.
Helps the glare. Now the TST 507, it actually shows most things that you see. It'll have the high temperature alarm, it has the high and low pressure alarm. The display actually shows if the sensor has a low battery or no connection. It will also indicate if the repeater is actually active. You can also temporarily disable it so it doesn't keep reading if you separated from your wife and she's driving your tow, and then I'm driving my RV, it won't keep going off because it doesn't sense the Jeep. It's pretty simple to use. Your power cord goes here. It's got a go button, a set, and a back button. And as you can see, right now it's set up. Mike actually went through and set all my sensors up so I didn't have to do it. And we also set a 10% on the low pressure side up, and we also set a 25% on the high PSI up. So if you have a desired level, say 100 PSI, if it goes up over 25% of that, it will alarm you and let you know for PSI, and if you're 10% below that, it will also let you know. Okay, I'm not going to get into every detail of setting one of these up, but I do want to show you a couple things. It does come with a manual. It's super simple. Even though Mike had set up our sensors for us, I do want to delete one out to show you how you delete it out, and I want to reset it up so you know how simple it is. I moved the other sensors away because I don't want to mess those up, so when you activate a sensor it needs to be close. If those other ones are close, it could get mixed up. So I separated those, so make sure you put those to the side. I'm going to delete it first, and then I'm going to reprogram it for this flow-through sensor right here. So I've got the instructions out. I don't know this thing. I played with it a little bit, but I'm going to not mess you up and not mess myself up. I'm going to just follow the instructions. You hold set, till it beeps. In this section is when you push the positive, you can change a lot of things, and you can go over to high pressure, low pressure. You can change the high temperature setting on it, and right there if you want PSI or bar, depending on what you're going to use. Most of us in America are going to use PSI. You can change Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then you get into Learn ID, and that's where we want. And so if I press and release the set button, it's going to set me in to want to ask me which one of these sensors do I want to delete. So I'm in the front left right now. That's actually the code for my sensor. I'm going to actually use that, but I'm going to delete that one out. Scroll to the tire you want to do and then press the set button. So I want to do that front left one, hit the set button. It's going to blink, and it says press and hold the back button for 3 seconds. And it tells you exactly what's going to happen. You will hear 3 beeps. The code will charge with the F's that you see right now, and then press the set button once, and the flashing will stop and the ID code will be deleted. And so if I was to back up, you'll see that there's no front sensor now on the front left. So pretty simple, follow the instructions. Now I'm going to show you how to get back into this and actually program this sensor for that front left tire. Okay, for the programming portion of the sensor, press and hold the set. Use the plus button to go over to the Learn ID portion, which is there. Hit set. It'll start blinking there. This is where it wants you to tell it which sensor you want to do. I mean, which tire position you want to program. I'm in the tire position I want to program, the left front, and from there it's going to blink, and then you want to touch the sensor. They want you to get the sensor close and press the go button, and boom, that ID has been locked in. Press the set button. Now it froze that ID for this sensor for the left front, and there you have it. And then what you would do is scroll to the next position, and you would do the same thing there. And when you're done, you just go. Now it's showing it ain't on. It's got 0 PSI because it's not on the tire pressure monitoring system. I hit the positive, and that will temporarily turn your sound off. But I will tell you that TST recommends for high temperature alarm that you leave it at the setting that they already have it set on, which I did. Mike set that up and I didn't mess with it. Your book will tell you that too, so just make sure you're monitoring. And it also depends on, are you pulling this with a fifth wheel, class A, size of tires, type of tires, everything. You're going to want to look and see what tire pressure you need to be monitoring at and where your 10%, 25% are at. Don't go off what my settings are, because mine will be different than yours based off of what our rig is, what our tire is, and what our weight is for those tires. With this system, I think you can feel confident that every tire is being monitored. It sends, the actual sensor will send a signal every 5 minutes to the display. It repeats. But if it detects a fast leak alert, which is losing 2 PSI in less than a minute in one sensor, it would immediately send a signal to your display and let you know. So I think you feel really comfortable knowing that you're protected as far as knowing what's happening with your tires. And the faster you figure out what's happening with your tires, if you're losing air, the quicker you and safely you can get off the road and check it out yourself. Alright, I'm going to pull this repeater out. Again, the repeater just amplifies the signal of your sensors, because, you know, depending on the size of the rig and depending on how far your tow vehicle is, it's a pretty good distance. So this thing will actually boost the signal for your sensors and actually boost it to your display. You can hook it to any 12 volt. So what I'm going to do though, I'm going to actually cut these clips, and I'm actually going to put some alligator clips so I can detach it whenever I want to, so it's not constantly running. So if you're boondocking, it might save a little bit of battery if you can unhook it when you're not needing it and hook it up when you need it. Hey, let's go put some of these on. Okay, here is the cap sensor that was on for our TT500. Take that off. This hex nut, you push it on till it stops. Don't keep going anymore. Screw on your flow-through valve sensor that you program for this tire. This is our front left. You take this hex, tighten it back up with your fingers, and then it gives you this tool. Come over and give it a little quarter turn, and there you go. And it can't come off. And now you're ready. You're ready to actually inflate or deflate the tire.
Register on the sensor.
Okay, right there it's showing 101 psi, 79 degrees, and then went over to the second one. So I point back to it, right there you can see.
I don't know if they can see it.
Okay, let's test it, and we should get a red light if we have a good connection. I'm gonna hook the red up to the positive, flip the negative, and we have a red light. Can't always see it. Set it back here, you can see it. So now all we got to do is I'm going to mount it right here on the wall, and should be good to go. All right, to mount this, they have screws provided. They also have some 3M tape if you want to use that. I'm going to go with the screws. So all I did was just put a couple pilot holes in. Just need to tighten the screws up. I just got them started. Don't over tighten it. There it is, really secure. So let's hook it up. Let's see if it works. Again. And we have a solid red light. The light will blink sometimes if it's sending signals, so don't be alarmed, but we do have a red light here, and I'll show it to you. I did put the sticker on, it's pretty cool. I put the sticker on so if anybody is messing back in this bay and they're wondering what this is, then they'll know that is for my TPMS, and since it's got the really cool TST sticker. What I will do is when I'm stopping somewhere, I will actually unhook this if we're sitting somewhere for a while, so it's just not constantly pulling power, not necessary. If that turns out to not be the case, then I'll change the terminals and just leave it hooked up all the time. But right now it's good. I'm going to try this method, see, nice and neat. So, excited. We got them all on, and I'm going to do the Jeep next. I'm not going to bore you with that, but everything is registering as advertised, and man, it's really nice to have.
All right, so there you go. We're going to be so safe on the road. That thing is going to be beeping if we have any tires doing any kind of anything, and you know what? I don't even know.
All right, there you have it. We hooked it up. The
Yeah.
only thing left to do now is put it on the Jeep, but pretty simple process and really not expensive to buy one, but it can be very expensive if you were to blow a tire out and crash your house.
Yeah. Get yourself a tire monitoring system. It's worth it. It's a must-have
Definitely.
for sure.
A definite must-have.
Thank you, Mike, again for helping us out at the Super Show, getting it set up for us, making our work here a little easier. So anyway, y'all, leave us a comment below if you have one and which kind you have, because people like to know what other people use, because that's how they
why.
Yeah, that's how they decide what they want to get. So leave us a comment below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel too. So until next time, seatbelts on.
Hey, seatbelts on. I want to show you something, or remind you of something that we had previously on a video that has not given us any issues since we installed it, and that is our gas stop right here. Now this comes right out of the on and off the regulator, and it actually will stop any major leak that happens in your RV, fifth wheel camper, whatever you're using it on. If it senses something too strong of gas flow, it will actually shut down immediately. And so this is one way to keep us safe, and I think the #1 claim on insurance claims is fire. So this is one way to protect us, and I just wanted to show that to you again. We did a gas stop video. Please take a minute to look at that. Also, if you go out there to buy one, please put our promo code of TBD, that's to be determined, TBD, and you'll get 10% off. Anyway, great safety device, super cheap, easy DIY.